It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MedProject or visit medproject.org.
All right, so let's see. I'm going to need to come up with some more stuff. Monster Fest doesn't have until October. Right now, this is... Damn, it's still March? Really? Let's see. I have to think of an event for right now. Since everything else is canceled, so I'm going to change up a few things. Let's see. What's alright? J360 TV's ready to go. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I got something pretty big planned for this time of the year. Oh, yeah. It's a grab, and I'm going to need some help doing it, but I think it'll be worth it. But until then, though, got to get into it. Welcome to the J-Man Show here on
J360 Radio.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, what's going on, J360 Legion? This is the J-Man, of course. Welcome to the J-Man Show for episode 144. Start of a double special, if you will. Haha, that's right. Because apparently we're still stuck in this slow-ass month for the second time. Or is it third time? Because I thought we couldn't get out of January either. But at least January didn't have enough problems as like it's a younger brother and sister here. You know, it's just pretty interesting that we are where we are right now. I'm sitting here trying to figure out a few things. I've been at it all day, actually. Book's still filled with a lot of entry here about like what sort of events to give you all. And you see, the reason why we're also doing a double special is going dark next week. Yep, that means no J360 content for a little while. Okay, maybe a week. All right, because it'll give me time to go ahead and fix up the website and a few things, because I'm really starting to get tired of some limitations that social media brings on certain things. And I've always had a website for the content that I make anyway. So if anything, you guys can go ahead and subscribe and follow all of that, and that'll just make that grow. And, you know, probably won't even have to worry about things like Twitter and all, and along with some email marketing here. You know, I have to go ahead and put on my thinking caps, utilize the CEO brain up here, and get some things in motion. Because, yes, while we are social distant, we shouldn't be too distant to the point where we don't even know each other. That's just, that's sad. That's insane. It doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? And I always look at it from time to time, like, I don't have time for this solitude crap. I've done that years ago. Yeah, it's called middle school. And boy, howdy do I. Man, shoot, I did a lot of growing up in middle school, I'll tell you that. Not in a good way where it's like, you know, I got a rot at my ass. It's pretty much to the point where I just don't like people. And good thing I outgrew it, because, you know, everybody needs somebody. So got to go ahead and be part of the group, be part of the community, keep things together. Because if not, things fall apart, and some people want it that way. And and if you're like me, and if you just can't stand how status quo is sometime, and you always want to change it, you know, you don't want to give your opposition the satisfaction of being right. Never do that. Matter of fact, especially if it's something that you can go ahead and question and change up all the time. It's what I do to my would-be supervisor, after all. He sits there in his own way and thinks nobody can topple him. That is, until he met me. Because at the end of the day, homeboy will stick him to the rigors. And as he should be. Of course, if it ain't me, it's the old guy that works back there too that usually gives him a hard time. But not to the point where, you can't get stuff done. If that makes any sense. Probably doesn't, but whatever. This is my show, not yours. Now, with that being said, somebody was asking me about this. Like, why are you so snarky? Well, I don't know. I think I've just always been that way. From time to time, it just comes on. But I'm not smug about that, I mean, there was one time I was to the point where I thought, my stuff don't stink. And then all of a sudden, the humble effect came in and, really brought me back to perspective. And is that a true story? No, it's not. Because I've always been rather humble about things. I just do it for the laughs. But it's interesting, though, because there are some people out there that think they cannot be touched. You know what I'm saying? And I've mentioned this throughout many times on this series. Like, don't think you're too big to the point where you can't be knocked down. You can be knocked down. You know what I'm saying? And it might be from somebody that you've inspired and really pissed off, or it could be somebody from your past that got their stuff together and to the point where they know how to push the right buttons. And see, the thing is, you should always be evolving and improving, which is what I am doing. I don't sit here and still do the same old things from like 2006. I had to change up J360 Productions a little while just to remain competitive. And of course, utilizing what makes me great too. So it's one of them things that you got to do from time to time. Because if you're just sitting there still doing the same old stuff, or you're just going around coasting and thinking, yeah, this is as good as it wanted to be, and it's stagnant, you're only hurting yourself, right? Yeah. Don't do it to yourself. Really get out of your way. Try to find some newer things to do. Or at best, just learn a different technique that really, really sticks out to you. And then change it up a little. And then just apply it to everything. Which is awesome. Because, I am bringing back the Power Play series, but I cannot give you guys the same thing I gave you back in 2016. See what I'm saying? So I'm always working on evolving and changing it. It'll never be perfect, behind you. It'll never be perfect, but it will be well worth the wait. And see, for right now, I didn't want to just throw a bunch of video games at you. I wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit more variety. Remember when I did Film Redemptions, right? Okay. So, the thing about Film Redemptions are, right now, everything's on a slow decline due to Corona. So, what we will do is, we'll go ahead and tweak that a little. We'll go ahead and see some of the stuff that I kind of missed out on. Now, I was going to start with 2003's Hulk. A lot of people didn't like that movie. I thought it was a decent sci-fi movie. You see, and the reason why is because, it had the science with it. It made you think, like, how he could change and what his father did to him and all. It didn't fit the comics like anything, but it was decent for the way it showed off, like he was a cage monster, tragic monster, outside of what's going on with him now. He's talking Hulk now. Yeah. I wonder how long that's going to last. We'll see how it happens in the She-Hulk show, because remember, while he did gain control over the Hulk, eventually he lost it again. So, it's one of them things you got to work on. But for right now, I'm sitting here working on the list, and I'm also doing a little bit of R&D while we're doing the episode tonight. Yep, not even at the studio. I'm on the other side of the J360 house, and I'm using the portable. Oh, yeah. It's going to work this time. I remember doing an episode for you all where I was actually in the car driving and doing it. So, needless to say, let's see how far this actually goes down. And you know something? Remember that movie? That movie called It was this one movie I saw not too long ago that a lot of people liked, but a lot of people were indifferent about. No, not Star Wars Episode 9. Even then, I might have to redeem the sequel trilogy. I might have to. And I've mentioned that before. Because guess what? Is it really deserving of all the backlash for it? Is it really that bad? Or are we all just mad at Kathleen Kennedy? Or are we all just mad at the whole, ecosystem now where it's feminists versus regular people, whether it's regular people versus people that complain and gripe. Are the white knights still running around causing more trouble for those that have no interest in any of this stuff at all? You always take a look at it and wonder exactly where the fandom wars begin. And then you wonder if it's all about how toxic the fan base is. Or is it really about the fact that nobody even cares about these movies? It's the fact that it's the name that really infuriates them. Because you also got some people that chime in to say, I hate Star Wars. I don't care about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Oh, boy. It's one of those kind of moments, man. Even though they are pushing a new franchise, or not new franchise, but it's like a new multimedia part of the franchise or something like that. Like it's supposed to cover different aspects and, the universe, or not universe, the galaxy 100 years before this. Even though they kind of already did that with Knights of the Old Republic. This one's a little different. So I'm interested to see how that goes. But at the same time, I'm like, yes. Of course, Rosario Dawson has been cast as Ashoka, so that may actually be pretty good, because I'm interested to see how her story ends up. And I've also been trying to work on some stuff around here to change it up. Did you know that J360, I actually had plans for a mascot for this company? And I still do. At the end of the day, I'll probably reveal it after I'm done designing it, which is one of the things I've been working on. Been so busy. Like I said, I can never master the art of doing nothing at all. Whether it's a day off, or whether it's a call-out day, or even like a quarantine sort of situation regarding like what's going on with Corona now. I just cannot stop doing anything. Like I always have to be on the go and just keep moving. And it feels pretty good. Keeps me out of harm's way, I guess. Even though I'm going into harm's way all the time. But that's just going to be the rule of the gambit. And then, of course, you start to get a little bit of beneficials out of it, because if you don't get it done, who's going to get it done, right? So it's one of those things. And I'm sitting here right now, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, yeah, this will actually be some good. Oh, and also, play Doom Eternal ASAP. Because somebody just went ahead and played through the whole game and put up a damn video calling it the movie with all the cutscenes and stuff done. I'm like, you bastard. I can't really go and knock somebody else's channel just for going about doing it, because that's their craft. But then you're sitting there, you're like, yo, man, I didn't get to play through all this yet. Hell, I didn't get to play through it at all. And Lord knows there's another patch for some of the other games. I hope it's not Street Fighter, because I don't have time to go through that again. But that's just the luck of the draw, right? Right. So I'm sitting here designing this event right now. You guys will probably like this one. Oh, which, by the way, you actually can help out with the hotline. That'll be given to you a little bit later. Because, see, the thing is, if you send me voicemails from time to time, I'll play them on the show. In addition to, you can also drop in some recommendation of certain movies that you kept an eye on. That have, that were all full of hype, but they did not sell well. And you see, the thing is, I'll take a look at them, and I will not tell whether they're good or bad. I will tell whether they're watchable or not. I'll give you that benefit of the doubt, because everybody's opinion is different. Everybody has the idea of what is a good movie, what is a bad movie, what is a, cult movie, all those things. And it all comes down to point of view. And the point of view is just like, they change, much like the seasons, and much like anything else. So it's just one of those kind of things. And then some people are just like, oh, well, my opinion overrules everything. I'm the one endorsing. Yeah, I like my opinion. My big cherished opinion. Yeah, it pales in comparison and lets everybody know the size of your dick, sir. You micro penis having jerk. Sitting there complaining on Twitter. Telling everybody that my way is the correct way. Sure it is. Yep, sure, buddy. No way. And I mean, they're still arguing out there to this day. Of course, there's some people that can't even handle certain jokes that they inadvertently create. And it's just sitting there, looking at it, it's like, Makes you wonder exactly how far things are going to go because, people are out of school now. So it's like, oh, damn it. And these are things that you're supposed to learn. Because actually, I'm wondering, what is going to happen to those young kids now? I mean, are they going to go to summer school? Or are they going to go to, I would hate for, something that I can't control to have me repeat a grade over or any of that stuff, I know, state testing has been postponed around here, which at the same time, whether state testing really makes a difference or not, is entirely up to what you guys know about it. But I'm just thinking this. I'm like, state testing. And it takes me back. All those years of high school. No, I graduated on time. But the point is that I'm trying to think whether state testing really prepared me for the rest of my life or not. And then again, I don't know. Maybe it's just a way to go ahead and tell the government, "Hey, we're doing a job, and yeah, they're learning." Yeah, maybe that's it. Just really, really trying to think about whether you learn anything from a standardized test. I'll ask any of you guys out there. Some of y'all in the Podverse probably could chime in on that. It's just something to think about because I'm like, because that SAT didn't really get me ready for college. I mean. Yeah, it really didn't. Of course, I also took the ACT, so why the hell would I talk about the SAT? Speaking of government structures and wastes of time, I think we're finally, after all of that time of them playing football and fist fighting instead of doing the right thing, the government is allowing us to have our stimulus stuff, man. We're finally getting that $1,200 check! Woo! Yes! Oh, man, I feel so good about this. You know why? Because, let me tell you a term I really like. Free money. Free money. Free money. Free money. That's right. All of it coming out of Uncle Sam's hands and into Uncle Jay's hands. And then, it's going to go sit where that $300 of hazard pay is and let it grow. And I just can't wait, man. Because that compound interest is going to ride that stuff wholesale and we're really going to be making bank. Rolling in the dough. Rolling in the dough. And it's just, it's interesting because, see, for a while there, you can see that each and every single side or political party had an agenda. And for a while there, we were not going to get it. But now, after all this drama and strife and all the anti-Trump or pro-Trump rhetoric, we're finally getting something that is beneficial and useful for people who need it. Because a lot of people are not working right now. There are some that are, but then there are a lot that aren't. And then there are people out there who need extensions to their unemployment benefits, among other things. It's just a mess. So, you look at it from time to time. Yes, give us that $1,200. Yes, I mean, at one time, it's going to be more, though, if you're, married or you got dependents. It's one of those kind of things. But you see, when we get to that level, everybody needs something, and every bit of it helps because it's for the people. Without us around, how are the social elites going to feel about themselves? I mean, after all, they really don't want to do any work. They want to live off of other people who do work. They need us a lot more than we need them, and it makes you wonder how we can't necessarily, turn the tables on them and stuff because you know why, right? Because we're so busy going at each other over petty things. Now, I know I play it for laughs here on the show and out there in the real world sometimes. But it's just stupid. Because after a while, that whole Occupy movement. I went on a whole thing about, when it came to protesting. Protesting used to be a valuable tool at one time. Then everybody started protesting about self-interest and... Of course, it's got to be a proximity thing for people to get involved. And it just makes you think, it's like, why would you do that? Aren't we supposed to be doing this for the right reasons? To help people, aren't we supposed to be making new ways? And you see some people's like this, oh, well, I didn't have to deal with your agenda. I was going about my own way anyway. I just wanted to be part of a group. And that's just a waste of time. That's stupid. And I've met many people like that trying to build this. But it's so stupid the way people are sometimes. And it kind of lowers my whole ideal of, like where society could get better. Like, like every time you see, I always talk about like the talk in town, for the culture, all these things. Like there was moments like if things got really, really serious, this show would go dark. And I don't mean dark like, a hiatus or a pause. I mean like it would go dark and like the subject matter I cover would be a lot more painful and I'd hit you right in the heart with it. And it was called a Black Label episode because there were times that dark was my state of mind at the time and I just had to fight fire with fire. And it's just one of those kind of things. And slowly but surely things have been calm, for other reasons. But, I was going to hit it a lot harder and bring them back. And they should come back. Because sometimes people need to be enlightened about why they do what they do. So it's just little things like that. But I'm sitting here and I'm thinking this. Like, I remember asking you all about those lackluster videos. Like, one of those videos out there that it had a good premise and it had a good idea, but it just didn't sell. It just didn't do right. So, how about this? We can go ahead and start the event with tomorrow's episode. And I think I know exactly what to call it. See, it's not going to be the same as the Monster Fest. This is going to be open to a whole variety of movies. Even dramatic movies or, certain movies that you would think should have won an Oscar, but had no shot in hell of doing so. Or we're also looking at like certain comics and, hey, yeah, I could do a few comic book redemptions. Why not? But also, that's what we'll call this. This event here is something to look forward to. We'll call it Schlockomania. Yeah! In honor of WrestleMania, which may or may not be canceled, and I hope it's not. As far as I know, actually, aren't they supposed to be doing it at the Performance Center? Which, at the same time, you think, is it enough to accommodate? Oh, they'll probably do it without crowds, but still, I can't live in a world where I see something like that. Though I might have to take a look. I may have to take a look, because if I don't, I can't talk about it, right? So, yeah. But Schlockomania is happening starting tomorrow. And this is what we'll do. We'll cover 3 films, and we'll discuss each and every single one of them, and why they were full of premise, how they didn't do well, and how I'll fix the film. And that's how we'll go from there. And you see, this will be a way of going back into what I did starting the show. Because it's never really about how much the movie is good or bad, right? It's always about ticket sales, always about profit margins, always about like interest behind this, or franchise selling, because God knows these movies can't make it without a second or a third, right? So it's one of those kind of things you think about. And speaking of movies that need a second or a third, you think Thor's gonna die in the next Thor movie, and then she takes over for him? I hope not. But then again, things are lining up and you're starting to hear more and more crap. So, But other than that, though, we go ahead and start doing a Schlockomania. That'll be fun. And then I get to use the new J360 rating system. You've all heard it before. If you were following me on Instagram at J360 Productions, there was a moment where you got to hear the sounds of that rating system. So we're going to have fun with it. Hey. At the end of the day, it might be gross, and you might think that, hey, I'm immature as hell, but there are some times where I gots to be. Life is too serious, man. Gotta loosen up and enjoy yourself. Because if not, then you're monotonous as hell, and boring, and tiresome, and tart. Just like anything that's anti-J-Man. Or, Pro J Supervisor. Oh yeah, you guys really want to be like him, huh? Now that guy's corny. I'm just letting you know. Corny as hell. And speaking of which, I've also been looking at certain anime collections here, and I really need to go ahead and boost up my stock. Now, I got all of the Dragon Ball Z stuff. Okay. I don't have all Super yet, but I'm working on it. I figure I need to get that Speed Racer one. No, wait. Yeah, I got Speed Racer. He's alright. Let's see. I need to also get Fist of the North Star. That is the one that has been, it's there, but I never get it on time. Either because I'm in between paychecks or also because, the people who are selling it will rise it up to the point where it's too rich for my blood. And I'm like, this is the 80s show, by the way. This is the show with all the blood, guts, gore, and explosions and everything that live action movie wanted to be. And I just can't, I'm just saying this. As soon as I grab that, in addition to the other G Gundam box set, my life will finally be complete. That's how I want more, because, obviously there's always going to be more for me to buy. And then, of course, there's a few of the JJ's Bizarre Adventures I need to get into. And then also there's One Piece stuff I need to look. I'm never going to be done with One Piece. I'll be done with Case Closed before I'll be done with One Piece. And I'll never be done with Case Closed because not everything from Detective Conan came over here. So I'd have to figure out a way or invest more in reading subs instead of just waiting on dubs, especially since Funimation doesn't have the rights to it anymore, which blows, because that show had a chance. That used to be me every night at 10, man, sitting back watching these cases unfold and just seeing how to solve them and working with Conan to do so. That show was great. Then they went ahead and they pulled the plug on it. Granted, 5 DVD boxes did make it here, but I managed to get only 2 out of the 5, and that's just not good. I was working at a different job then, folks, and the J360 money wasn't piling up like it was. Now it's doing great, but it's just, at the end of the day, you want to be mindful and tactful about what you use stuff for. And then also, let's see, I got plenty of the Marvel team-ups. I've been reading a lot of the Spider-Man comic books I have around here. Man, I'm telling you, I love the Stan Lee, John Romita era. And which John Romita, you ask? Both of them. And then you see oh, wait, look. Huh. Oh, hey, wow, I did buy that Wolverine book. How about that? Impulse buying for the win. Oh, man. The Thing has a group of comic books too where he teams up with other people, and it's called Marvel 2-in-1, and I only got one comic out of that, and that's when he was dealing with the Hulk, and one of those issues where they fought a little bit, but that's only because the Incredible Hulk got confused by watching a TV in front of a Sears that had his image on there, because it was in reference to the 70s series that was on TV at one time. And then he decided to go to Hollywood and bust up everything there because he thought they made him look stupid. Granted, some of these contemplation issues are very lighthearted, but it's just funny as hell to see the Hulk get mad at something that was a cultural phenomenon that boosts his characters. That's like me getting mad at a comic book made about me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know it could go its own way and its own keel, but at the same time, it's yeah, you know what? That's still me over there and my image. And the thing is, you're not going to look stupid on something like that. You'll look stupid on something like 2003's Hulk, where you're fighting against 3 giant canines that are infused with the Hulk DNA. And then in the video game, where you're pretty much fighting against the same group of people until you eventually get to the boss. And even then, the bosses are a little too powerful for you. And the camera sucks, and then, 2003 was a very interesting year, wasn't it? But of course, at the same time, it wasn't as bad as any of all this wild stuff going down, and I was just still trying to fight my way out of high school. Yeah, it was a very interesting year. But you see, going back into it though, I do need to go ahead and put that on the list, and then of course there's the What If comics. Now, I used to love those. Especially the one that told you, what if Spider-Man kept the symbiote? And it turned out that the symbiote would actually absorb a lot of his life energy and stuff, to the point where it would break away from him and go after other strong people in the Marvel Universe. And as soon as it broke away from Spidey wasn't exactly physically fit anymore. He was prematurely aged and ancient. If anything, if this man farted, he would implode to dust. Yeah, pretty much. It's wild too, because it makes you wonder. The symbiote was around Eddie a lot, and you see Eddie had cancer, so in a way it kind of provided a little outsource to that. But it also makes you wonder, what exactly was it doing to Eddie all that time it was bonded to him? And then there was a moment where it bonded to other people in the universe. So it's like, things are different. Because I think the only one that managed to control it a little bit was Flash, right? Wasn't it? Because the whole Clintars thing. I don't know. It's something I'm gonna have to brush up on for another episode. But needless to say, I love comics, and I always take a look and see like what's happening with the industry a little bit. And right now, are they on a real sharp nosedive, or like what the hell is going on, man? Like, I hear this thing about Comicsgate. I hear like all this stuff like they're creating things are more inclusive, but there's no strong stories to support that inclusive. It's just like, what is the main problem, I ask? And if somebody can really come up with the answer and explain it, all right, then we should have a pretty good conversation. And I really need to open the gates again, even though those gates are open. So anytime you guys want to like chime in and say something, I mean, you can. I mean, I'm not going to hurt you or any of that stuff. I'm not going to say your opinion is wrong, your results are invalid, or go F yourself and all that stuff. Why would I do that? It wouldn't make me any more interesting, and it doesn't make anything fun. Like, go ahead and do some things. See what it is. The only problem I have with all this stuff is that sometimes this money costs. And old boy is putting his money away, got things to do, yes. So at the end of the day, got goals, plans, and all that kind of stuff. They'll always have a little thing for me to party with, but still. Decisions on this. And, I don't really trust that stimulus money from the government. But it's going to sit there and make me a mint. You see what I'm saying? And then also, hey, yeah, wow, the Transformers DVD stuff's on sale. Not the live action Michael Bay stuff, but I mean the actual series. I'll have to look into that then. And then see if they re-released G.I. Joe yet. Okay, I guess they didn't. So that's just one of those things I'll have to look into. Meanwhile, though, yes, I am slowly but surely counting all this up. And I gotta also get this off my chest. I'm really disappointed there's no March Madness. Yeah, March Madness is something that I always look forward to, man. See, it was something that me and my dad would bond about. Like, I would always grab the bracket, he'd have his bracket, and we'd always line up our teams. Like, you go from like 32 to 16 to 8 to 4 and then to 2. And then you like have different schools, and then you see like who's great at these schools. And like each and every single one of these teams have a chance to make it. And then as they do make it, you start to notice like how it kind of shapes your basketball year, because any of these people could be rising up or going to the D leagues or wherever they need to go. And it's just like, what school do you think of? Because at one time, like this area here, we had some legends, man. We had the Maryland Terrapins at one time. You had the Temple Hawks. You had you got the Villanova Wildcats, but you also got the Wilmington University Wildcats because school pride. But then, of course, you also had a team that was completely unknown and managed to take even Duke University to the limit. Took them to the limit similar to like Rocky did to Apollo. And they were called the Delaware State University Hornets. And man, if they had made those things right, and if they have actually won out in the end, could have really helped put Delaware on the map. Big time. Even though there's a lot of good things that came out of Delaware, me included. But like I say, But keep in mind, now the Hornets, in their infinite wisdom, they do get there from time to time, but they kind of choke out. But in 2006, nobody expected them to make it. Even the news covering, they were like, that's Duke's competitor. They didn't even say our name right off till that game happened. And when that game happened, I mean, it was sweet. Ball is life. And sitting here just telling you guys about it makes me wish that they would just go ahead and make a college hoops game next gen. But I know why they won't, because they're using the likenesses of people that are not getting paid. And it all comes down to the cash, because, all the broadcasters, all the owners, all the people that invest into college sports, they're making bank, but it's not the ones that actually play, because they're considered, quote, volunteers. And that's just a sad way to go about it. But, thanks to old Corona, we ain't got to worry about that situation right now. Drives me mad, man, because I had a lot of hope and promise for 2020 when it came to that. You know, because especially, like, I would love to have seen, like, how cool would it have been for DSU to be on that listing? Or for, you know, Villanova to go back again. Or hell, I'll even go this far. I'll say, like, the Maryland Terrapins, who have been in a drought for about 10 years so far, to actually rise again. And you can't see it without it not being in play. Everybody's at home. Stinks. Oh, well, you know, you want to be as happy as you can about it. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I do. I got to get my basketball fixed. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to go get a mini hoop. I'm going to go set it up on that door. And then I'm going to go find my copy of College Hoops 2K7 and go ahead and play it on J360 TV. That's what I'll do, because they got both Delaware teams on there. They got University of Delaware, which the basketball team at University of Delaware can be decent sometimes, but mostly ass. Whereas the DSU team, how the hell they get in the video game, I don't care. I'm still going to support it. Go Hornets. Because I'm going to go ahead and start doing this stuff anyway. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if anything, this is more or less a planning episode. So I'm sitting here working on this, and I'm testing out this portable mode. And whether you guys like it or not, you know, you let me know, and we'll figure out how we go from here. And then, of course, you know, Slockomania starts tomorrow. I already have the films lined up for you, and you'll be happy to know it. Oh, they're pretty bad. But we'll have fun talking about them. Until then, though, this is the J-Man signing off. You all take it easy, and I will catch you tomorrow. Stay safe, and stay clean, all right? Laters.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.